It's everyone's favourite of three-game week, so we are straight back in with our bold predictions for EFL Championship Round 22 in association with Match Bingo. Absolute zero. As we come to the end of the three-game week, three of our teams could be about to experience the horrible indignity of scoring 0 points off their three opportunities. Millwall have already registered defeats against Cardiff and Leicester. They have been away twice, to be fair, and are at home to Huddersfield on Saturday. Rotherham, it's a little more concerning, that one. They've played at home twice and lost at home twice to Swansea and West Brom. They are usually pretty dependable at the New York. Unfortunately for the Millers, they're on the road and they are away failists against home specialists, Plymouth, this weekend. Perhaps the most surprising double defeated side so far this week is Middlesbrough, who had been in lovely old form, but to be fair, have had plenty of absences in terms of their first 11. They've lost 2 home games too, to Ipswich and to Hull. They are off to Swansea. So, how many absolute 0-point teams across the three-game week is the Championship going to throw up this time around? Well, I've got to say I'm worried about Rotherham, as Plymouth always do well at home. I can see Millwall breaking their duck for the week and getting something against Huddersfield, who are very draw-happy, aren't they? Borough is the interesting one. That is a coin flip for me. Wouldn't be surprised at any result in that one. So let's go on the more positive side. Positive, that is, unless you're a Rotherham fan. So please accept my sincerest apologies in advance. And I hope I'm wrong, but I boldly predict Rotherham will register the only 0-point week in this latest Championship three-game week. Familiarity. Our top three are about to get very familiar with each other over the Christmas period. I say that, it's really Ipswich who are going to be getting very familiar with the top three, as it's away to Leeds and home to Leicester either side of Christmas Day. But we have one more round to go before those head-to-heads start up. And it's a familiar story at the top, with Leicester still banging out the victories and set for another 9-point week, having already toppled Plymouth and Millwall at the King Power this week. Foxes can put their feet up though first, as it's Birmingham away on Monday night. It was not a familiar feeling for Leeds in midweek, as they actually lost a football match, something they'd only done twice in their previous 18 in the EFL. It was 1-0 to Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. And in this mad point scoring season, that tiniest of slips was pounced upon, and the gap to the top two grew to 10 points for chasing Leeds. They host Coventry at Ellen Road this weekend. Coventry are improving, but Leeds are formidable at home. As for Ipswich, its familiarity breeds contempt, as it's East Anglian derby time for the first game with Norwich in 4 years. The Canaries have dominated these fixtures for over a decade now. Ipswich look to have their best chance in years to get that elusive win, but these matches have a funny emotional pull. And after 3, everyone, the form book goes out of the window for a derby. Sarcasm. I think Birmingham will make it hard for Leicester, but the Foxes, they just knock teams over, don't they? I trust Leeds' home record pretty implicitly, but also know what a tough opponent Mark Robins can be. And Ipswich v Norwich, well, who knows? None of them are easy wins, but I'm going to lock in the top 3 treble and boldly predict all 3 of Leicester, Ipswich and Leeds to win this weekend. And how about this from the guys at Match Bingo? A monster pot for a monster fixture. If you get the full house on Ipswich v Norwich, £1,000 in the pot there. I don't know about you, that would do me just nicely 1 week before Christmas. It's £2 to enter. Here is my card. Left-footed goal for Ipswich. I'm looking at you, Mr. Broadhead, Mr. Chaplin. Right-footed goal, Norwich. Adam Eder has 4 already with his right peg. Goal ending in 5. Well, as long as it's not 95, I'll take it. £1,000 up for grabs. Get yourself involved. Remember to play responsibly. And as ever, I'm partnered with the Stroke Association, as Match Bingo share all their profits with various good causes. Tony Mowbray. Good old Tony Mowbray is sadly recently out of work after his departure from Sunderland, but he still has quite the fingerprint when you look at the current Championship table. Mowbray took West Brom out of the Championship via promotion in 2008 and brought Blackburn in to the Championship with promotion from League One 10 years later. He couldn't win promotion in his 1 year and a bit with Sunderland, but the Black Cats did make it all the way to the playoff semi-finals last season. So let's give a Tony Mowbray angle and make it West Brom, Blackburn and Sunderland as our three clubs for this segment. West Brom got a bounce-back win at Rotherham after losing 2 in a row to Leicester and Sunderland. It's 8 wins in 13 though, so they are ticking along nicely and host a Stoke side with no wins in 7 and no manager at time of recording in a Championship game on Sunday on TV. Blackburn are off to Southampton for a tricky away test. Saints have had back-to-back draws, but Blackburn are doing that thing they love to do under Jean Dahl Thomason and never drawing. 21 games in all competitions since Rovers drew at Rotherham on August the 12th. Sunderland, they're very obviously managerless for Tony Mowbray-linked reasons at time of recording. They are off to Bristol City on the back of an impressive win over Leeds and with new City boss Liam Manning having won just 1 of his 6 games thus far. You know I'm going to try and find a home-away draw, don't you? That's the deal here. And I can't really look past West Brom for my home. Even though Blackburn never draw, I'd be more inclined for Sunderland to be my away. So I think we're there. I extremely boldly predict West Brom home win, Blackburn draw, Sunderland away win. Already regretting Blackburn draw. Bounce back. There were defeats in midweek for Sheffield Wednesday, Cardiff and Watford. I was at Watford for their game against Ipswich. Check the vlog, and they were actually pretty decent despite the defeat and maybe set for a bounce back win. The Hornets head to Preston, who are, however, having a decent week with 4 points on the board thus far. I didn't expect Cardiff to lose at home to Birmingham, I have to say, but that's exactly what they went and did. The Bluebirds are going to look to pick up their playoff chase again on Saturday. They've got to go to Hull, though, who are 3 points and 3 places ahead of them in the current Championship table. And Sheffield Wednesday's revival, well, that hit the buffers with the 3-1 defeat at Norwich in midweek. They've got a really interesting head-to-head with QPR, their fellow improving bottom 3 side, and they have home advantage. So, how many bounce-back wins are we going to get? This is probably the hardest to call, as we've essentially got 2 playoff head-to-heads and a relegation head-to-head, meaning all of these games are very evenly matched. I'm going to go with recency bias when it comes to Watford, as I saw them just a couple of nights ago. I'm not sure Cardiff go to Hull and get the win, do they? And I can see Wednesday v QPR ending in the archetypal unhelpful draw. Let's lock it in then. I boldly predict that out of those 3 clubs, only Watford will bounce back from midweek defeat and get a win this weekend. There you go, that is the latest set of bold predictions in association with Match Bingo. Get involved in the comments and get involved for that £1,000 prize pot for the East Anglian Derby. If you want to stick with the channel, I'd absolutely love you to, of course. Click here and have a look at my Vicarage Road vlog where Ipswich went temporarily top of the table with a 2-1 win at Watford.